Hello, everybody. Welcome to the race weekend. Today we are in Portugal or Portimao, or the Portuguese Grand Prix. How? I'm here. I am Sticky One. I'm here with fellow commentator Pangiel 12.
Hello.
I guess you can talk to them while I get everything set up.
Yeah, that's.
Yes.
Are we not? I'm just making sure we're not muted on stream, right?
I unmuted us, so we shouldn't be anymore. But you were for a second.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Okay. Just double checking.
Yes.
Okay.
There's a lot I am doing, so I can understand that.
That is fine. That is completely fine. So right now we basically have 3 cars doing their outlaps, being led by Sumibo in the Ferrari, followed by the Haas in NLC Racing, and the Alfa Romeo of Hulk. So we'll basically see that the Haas of NLC might get a good pull out of that if he actually decides to stick behind him. But we have Sumibo starting out his fast lap.
Oh no. What's going on here?
Let me pull up the Portium lap. There you go. Okay. Well, we see that Sumibo is in the second sector, heading up to. Okay, that is oddly throwing me off. What? Turn 11 does a purple sector is actually good in the second sector, because that part is just, I don't know, spin out heaven in my opinion. Heading into the last turn 15, which is like literal flat out as you head to the start finish line, and we get a 119.8 from Sumibo 1, and then we get NLC being a second faster with 118.8. Okay, and then we have Hulk, who invalidated his lap earlier, so we're gonna have to wait for that, and we'll kind of ride on with Lannon and the Merc, see how well he does, because he's on his outlap right now.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see who's on. It's not on an outlap. Okay, we have Foppa as he's heading to 15, flat out, and he looks like he might go a second. He does 4/10 faster than NLC.
Nice.
Right? That's just crazy. Okay. Then we have the other McLaren of John, who's in the third entering the third sector, does a purple on the second sector, so he could make a run on Foppa's qualifying time.
The Danish driver is Hulk.
Danish drivers.
I was trying to figure out. Yeah, we have 2 Danish drivers. We actually have a Portuguese driver. I thought he is Portuguese, so this is his home track. It is Carlos. So that'll be something to keep an eye on. We got ourselves a Portuguese driver out here today.
So hopefully he gets that extra 2/10 that Alonso always says when you drive in your home GP, right?
Yeah. Driving your home GP, man. It's more important now than ever. Why is this not popping up?
Well, Landon actually just put in his fast lap, and he went 8/10 faster than
There
Poppy
we go.
with a 17.6, which is damn. This guy's fast.
Very fast time there.
I think like when I practiced, it's like I think I was just stuck in the 18.1.
Okay.
So, gee, just reaching 17.6. That's scary.
That's pretty fast. We have Sunby here now on a fast lap. All right, now I am here.
Welcome back. I hope everything's set up and well. And Zombie going into the last turn. He's doing pretty well. I think he's gonna reach like 120, 126. That's not bad. That is definitely not bad.
0.6. Puts down a preliminary lap there. Carlos coming in to the second sector. Ooh, he gets a little bit of a snap though. And
that was.
Oh yeah, it looks like maybe it's a little bit of nerves. I don't know, just getting an out lap. I know these guys had to wait a little bit for the race start, so that could have affected them all. So this track you could actually characterize as a roller coaster. It is literally up and down.
Oh yeah,
side to side.
This is why like I love driving in Portugal, especially in the previous game. I think it came on what, 21 or 2020. Well, one of my most favorite maps until this new game. But you know, it's a fun track in my opinion. And Danny goes for 121.1. I'm assuming that snap earlier on just really threw out like concentration, and he lost some, lost a lot of time there. Turn 5, that hairpin, that's rough. Ooh, and I think
and invalidates.
Invalidated.
We did get Lungy improved to get to 4th, so good job there, especially since his teammate is not here for today's race, so that's going to be luckily Josh has made a pretty dominating lead in the drivers championship, so we'll have, even though he's not racing today, should still be able to win it overall. Has a pretty good gap. So I think you'll be looking to see if Lungy is able to perform here. And it is actually in 2nd now with that lap. Or with the last lap, right?
Yeah,
did a 2nd push. Yeah, he did a 2nd push, I think. And he's now in 2nd.
That is crazy.
Which is really good. Because McLaren will be looking to push forward in the championships, but Lungy could spoil that by if he's able to perform really well here.
That is
it could really use it.
I see both McLarens here with Papa and
doing well.
Yeah, they're doing well. And Papa could definitely throw it in on the driver's standing, get within 4 points. Yeah. Assuming
there's only a 21-point gap from 1 and 2. So McLaren just being able to finish near Lungy is gonna mean that they're gonna gain some points, and I think that's the key here today. We have also in the constructors, that's for the constructors, and then for the drivers championship we have Josh on a 139 and Fapa on a 110. So Fapa is going to be looking for points here. I think as many as he can get. Huh?
Oh yeah, he'll definitely be basically in striking distance. That's
Yeah, no,
after
as long as he
Portimao.
finishes this race, he should be able to be fighting back into it, right? Into the championship race, the drivers. Especially with a sprint still left. Like, a sprint has so many points exist in a sprint. So,
Yeah,
we had... I mean, we had, like, last week, a driver like Landon was able to gain 31 points from a sprint. So, it is definitely helpful, those sprint events.
I mean, I think as long as Papa's consistent, I think I feel like the next few races would be like would be a seesaw between Papa and wait, what's his name? Sorry.
And Josh?
Josh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's gonna be a seesaw, like with over the next few races. I think it's just gonna be a seesaw between Josh and Papa. Once Papa gets into striking distance.
So I think overall Josh has shown to be more consistent than Fappa, but Fappa has shown really good. Fappa's had to fight through the mid pack the entire time. I think he's always qualified near the middle, maybe occasionally having a really good quali session, but then has improved. I don't think he's usually always moved up the ranks, and really rarely I've seen him go down from his qualifying position. So he's been strong in that case. And I think Josh has done the similar, but he's always started a little bit higher than him. And that's where that difference in points is coming from. But with Josh missing in today's race, I think that it plays in a really good hand for them.
It does.
Yeah, and Landon here goes fastest, 117.498.
0.4. Dang. He's fast.
He's flying.
He is definitely flying.
Yeah. Today we got the silver rocket out there.
Is this a throwback to 2020?
To his red rocket, yes. He's in the silver one today. And he is flying. Sets the fastest lap again.
He does. I see John doing another lap. He's doing pretty well. He was he's entering the last turn, and is this an in lap? Because he seems really slow.
Most likely he's already done a lap, so he's on his second lap. But
okay, yeah, there's like I was watching. I had him on my screen earlier, and it was like only down by like 0.2 of like the first second. I'm like, okay, that's fine. He could still make that up in the second and third. Yeah, well, never mind.
Yeah, so I'm here with Hulk, the only driver yet to set a lap.
Yeah, he invalidated twice, which is very which is kind of rough. It's I feel like it's easy to invalidate here in Portimao because of all the the fast turns. Sometimes the car just drifts away from you.
Yeah, definitely.
It can be rough. Oh, jeez. So I feel for Hulk. Oh,
yeah, there's a few crucial spots right on this track in particular.
Oh yeah. I feel like the first turn you could easily invalidate on there because it's not like you go slow. It's you brake and then you get on the gas as much as you can, and then that tends to let you drift. Drift a bit to the left.
So right here.
And you could just invalidate. Yeah, where Hulk is right now, you could invalidate that. If you just go a tiny bit wide, the game will like invalidate you right.
And then right here, he lost a lot of time right there because he didn't want to invalidate his lap.
Turn 4. I hate turn 4 because of that elevation. You could spin and you could invalidate your time by going wide on the exit of turn 4. It's like, jeez.
It's difficult, and it doesn't even have a name. The turn window name. There's a few on this track. There's a few on this track.
I'm not familiar with like the corner names. You know, outside maybe from a few from Silverstone, maybe one or two from Spa, but I usually just go with like, it's turn, and then number.
Yeah, here I am using team telemetry to be able to see the turn names. So
turn names?
It's been team telemetry is letting me. So Hulk finally puts in a lap. It does, so 121.6 definitely can go faster. It was making sure he didn't invalidate.
So. Yeah, like I don't blame him, because like it's easier to in my opinion, like I'd rather have like a base lap and then kind of feel where everything is, and then on the second lap that's when I'm like, okay, let's see if I could eke out a bit more, or see if I could use the entire track width for this one, where like I still don't invalidate.
Yeah, and I think that's how most of these drivers are, right? Is they put in a lap, and then if they're somewhat satisfied with it, then they finally extend out to where they truly want to try to qualify at. And Carlos wasn't really able to, or not Carlos, Hulk wasn't really able to do that because he invalidated early.
Yeah.
And we just got another invalidation from Fappa here, so that's unfortunate. He really wanted to do a lap. It's turn 2. It's turn 2, man. Like you said, you just barely extend out, and it somehow punishes you.
I was riding on his
onboard
on broadcast mode. I'm like, wait, I don't see. It didn't look like all 4 wheels went off the white line. I was like, when you mentioned invalid, I'm like, wait, what? Oh, jeez. I mean, look, 40 miles is fun, but I think John was doing a fast lap, and
John was doing a fast lap.
Turn 13.
Yeah, that's gonna be a spot. Sunby does not improve his time. And it looks like this might be our starting grid, with most of the drivers are either in or they were doing a lap and then invalidated.
Carlos improved, but it wasn't. It wasn't enough to get fast. Get past Sunby.
Yeah, and we had Carlos getting into 7th.
Yep.
So
I feel for
home
Fappa, because I feel like Fappa could have went a bit. He was doing.
Definitely.
It would have been nice to see Fappa go up a bit higher, because I feel like I think he, especially that he only got 1 lap in. I feel like he could have went faster if he had done an actual second lap.
Yeah, it's the keeping it within the track limits of 2. I think that's always the issue. It's not necessarily that the corner is difficult. It's just pinpointing. And so I do know what you're saying, Lynan. But it is I think it is a bit hard at times. Once a driver's in his groove, I think it 2 probably gets a little bit easier. But that extension is always there, I feel like.
Yeah, especially if you're getting a bit, you're speeding it up there and getting a bit, I would say, like, greedy, as I feel like most drivers do get greedy. We want that extra, 100th or extra 10th we could eke out, of course.
Yeah.
So sometimes we just get carried away, and then boom, we just slide. We just hit track, and I was like, God damn.
Yeah, I the one I always had, especially on this track, the only real corner that I had huge difficulties was was 4, because of how it goes, it elevates, and it actually has it has a concave, like it's out toe, or whatever you want to call it. It's rounded corner, so like you lose traction while going up that elevation, and especially with these cars, where the back traction is a little bit crazier. So you want to hear something we learned a few days ago, or like a few days when we were messing with we were looking at a lot of the telemetry data. So near the lower end of the RPMs, especially with the lower speeds, the electric engine, if you turn it on, it goes full. Like it's either 0-1, and so it gives you the full thing, and also the torque. So the torque is just so high down at those low revs. So that's actually the issue that a lot of these drivers are having. It's just that like the torque down there is insane. And that's where you get those weird snaps. And I think that's where we've all been struggling at, is just there's that unexpected insane amount of torque that causes your back end to twitch, like at those low RPMs. Yeah, it's very interesting. It's something that you don't tend to get in like when you're driving a normal car, right? Because with combustion engines, obviously the torque is variable. But with an electric engine, it's just normal. It's not. It's normal. It's full torque immediately. Oh, did they touch there?
I don't know.
It doesn't look like they did, so that's good.
It looked close.
It was very close. Luckily, they didn't hit each other. But we do have them on their formation lap. Every driver has chosen to go on the mediums, which is good.
Well,
that means we will see if... Yeah, another turn what?
Oh, no. I was thinking of turn 8. That elevation right there, it just reminded me of, because we were talking about turn 4. Turn 8 is also another turn I don't like. The elevation.
Turn 8 is called like Samsung.
Samsung?
Yes.
Like own?
SAMSUNG. Samsung.
Oh my god.
It's probably...
so,
9 is Craig Jones.
Craig Jones. Turn 8 for me, I just don't like it as well, because like you just go a tiny bit over. Ooh, someone just spun. Tires spun, I guess, trying to heat up their tires. But you put in a bit too much gas, you turn, like you just spin the car like in turn 4. And it's disgusting.
You could see just from this angle that amazing elevation change on the front straight. Look at that dip. Oh, you might not have the same screen as me.
No.
5 lights.
And
they're
we're off.
It's always that way for the spectators.
And we see
3 wide going into that corner. Oh no, there's a huge issue for John again, and yet again John is tangled with another driver, not even because of him. We see Sam being the beneficiary from that, and goes all the way up to and Sam takes a penalty right there.
That's a 5-second penalty. Ooh, that's rough.
So that thing is he had to avoid a driver. So that's always something that could be removed later in the race. I think some of these drivers are gonna have to remember that. Because they might go a little bit easier, but he could get that removed. So it's always the case. We have Fapa now in first. So this benefits, even though John has dropped all the way to 8th, it still benefits the McLaren team in both the drivers and constructors standings right now, if it holds.
And Fapa already has like a 1.5 second gap. Is that 1.5 second? Yeah, that is a 1.5 seconds.
I believe it is, but for some reason my connection to Sam is like not actually... There it is. Now it's updated. We have Lungy here now on the inside. Ooh, that is a scary corner to go through 2 people with.
Yeah.
And we actually have Landon here on the attack on Lungy. A little bit of a touch. Hulk goes past now. Hulk in 4th here.
Hulk's doing well. Hulk's doing really well. He goes
Yes.
from 8th to 4th. That's great.
It is very
And
good.
we have somebody going a bit wide in turn 5 right
And we're going to stay here with the smallest deltas. It looks like Landon here having trouble with trying to pass these drivers. We do know this track to be a bit difficult, but I think it's a very raceable track.
Oh yeah.
We've raced here a few times. Oh man, he is just getting sideswiped everywhere, trying to go through the corners with these drivers and having some issues.
That is rough. That is.
I'm
really,
not sure if
that was
something
like,
just happened to him or not.
I don't know. Like I just saw that.
Okay,
sideswipe,
no,
but
he was just ghosted with them for some reason, and now he's not though.
God, that is rough.
There goes.
I mean, Portugal was fun, but I sort of it's hard to overtake. You know, in this year's cars, it's hard to overtake. Like going
Yeah, you have to
outside
choose.
of the line.
Yeah, you have to choose the right moments, I think, to pass these drivers.
Yeah, because I feel like it's always hard to go past on corners.
Yeah.
On turns at this point, because sometimes, let's say you go for the inside and the inner
Mhm.
line, but then like once you step on the gas, you're gonna be slow because you're gonna lose the rear, on these
Yeah.
turns.
So, look at this gap that Fop has created, and we have here now Carlos on Hulk. Oh, he gets a little side swipe. This is what you're talking about with the side by side. It's very difficult for these drivers, and they keep like hitting each other.
Yeah, I'm just glad this is not on simulation. Because I feel like we would have. Oh no, because I feel like if we had simulation damage, I would.
Oh, if we had simulation damage, a lot of these drivers would be pissed because they took a side. They would have taken side damage, bargeboard damage, not bargeboard. Whatever they call the things on the side now.
Oh, we have a switchbacks between Carlos and Hulk. Hulk goes a bit wide in turn 1. Holy crap! But
oh yes, the over under there gets really good exit at right there from Carlos.
Oh no!
Oh,
Carlos,
and the Portuguese driver just loses it. That was a very good plan, and it just couldn't hold. He couldn't hold the position there.
Yeah, because he went inside and then just had better takeoff than
so much.
Than Hulk. That was a missed opportunity.
Very missed. Yeah, I think he did really good. We have here now Landon back on the back of Lungy, who is struggling to get in front of Sam, who is obviously a little bit slower pace here than the rest, with Fappa getting up to 4 seconds now.
Yeah, Fappa's driving really fast right now.
Yeah, he still has to keep his head down because with so many laps left, anything could happen. We have here now Lungy. Oh no, Landon on the attack on Lungy. Goes through right before the braking zone and gets the pass off here. Now he'll be looking to attack Sam.
I mean, if the only thing Landon needs to do is either get really close or go dive on the inside.
Yeah.
I guess he just has a look. He just took a look on the inside.
Definitely. Oh, almost.
Just.
Yes, Sam.
See?
Now. Oh, and he gets the pass off. Does he hold it?
He did.
He holds it through Samsung.
He does hold it. He did hold it through Samsung. Oh my god, Joe.
Now this corner, we shouldn't even have a name, but it does.
It's somewhere. It's turn 9.
Turn 9, yeah. Turn 10 is Portimao, which is nice. It's actually, it's a good corner to name it. Yeah. Turn 10, it's got the huge dip right after the corner. It's a perfect corner name for it. Yeah.
Oh, geez. So
you want to know what
like
Turn 15's name is? This one?
Gulp. What's it called?
Gulp.
Gulp?
G-A-L-P. Landing goes fastest 121.295. Gulp.
295. Damn.
It's gotta be one of the worst turn names that I've heard.
Well, now I feel like I need to Google all the turn names of all the F1 tracks to see which one's
Which one's the worst?
Yeah. For me right now, Gulp takes the cake because I don't know. Is it supposed to? Does it mean something in Portuguese? Maybe. That's why they named it Gulp.
Yeah.
But,
oh, Sam gets Lungy and Sam here fighting. Lungy gets past Sam now.
But Sam.
But Sam's attacking back. They're gonna go through this side by side. They're both gonna get compromised here.
We are, but Sam.
They're still holding it. Sam still on it, coming through Portimao.
And I think he gets the pass.
And he holds it. He still holds it. Oh, but he looks like he's coming on the inside there, but he doesn't see him.
Lungy, I think Lungy just drifted a bit too wide. Oh, that's.
I think it was a bit ambitious, and obviously Sam didn't see him there.
No, it's hard. It's hard to see someone coming from at that. The fact that they were, that close on that turn, it's hard because you're going downhill.
Yeah.
Too, and Lungy just in my opinion, it was good. It's just that I would have braked to fight another, like get the DRS overtake through the straight.
I would would have also, but it's hard to know especially when you're fighting side by side like that. Like you're expecting each other, or you're usually expecting people to be there, so it is hard to know who's at fault until we see onboards.
Oh yeah.
But that definitely hurts Lungy so much now, all the way into 7th instead. Was in a really good podium spot with that fight with Sam.
Yeah, it was. That was a good fight. I like that fight right there. Like
I did too. You could tell that Sam didn't expect him in there, right? Because they were definitely giving each other space up until that point through the corners.
Yeah. To me, I just feel like, at least from how I see it, I just think Lungy just drifted a bit too far into Sam.
Yeah. It was a bit of an ambitious dive. I think that's what it comes down to. Landon continuing to improve, doing a 120.720.
And I see. Did he
extend right there? All right. Well, he has one warning. Sam just takes another warning. So is most likely, if he gets another warning, he'll get a penalty. We do have, it looks like Hulk has a penalty. And we have John close to having a penalty. John making up one position or two positions now. Is into 6th. And I think we got to keep an eye on this. Yeah, this backpack here now attacking each other. Oh, horrible cameraman. John and Hulk here still fighting it out.
Yeah, they're definitely duking it out.
Man, who's this cameraman? Who's this cameraman?
Oh God.
This cameraman.
Let me manage let me be the TV director. I'll give us some really good shots.
It'd be nice, dude. I would love that. I would love this game to have an observer. Like I wonder if these developers even know what an observer is. Like,
oh my God, imagine.
They're probably like, what is an observer? Well, an observer is the guy that controls cameras. And as a broadcaster, we would all appreciate having an observer. Somebody would actually look for the fights on the field instead of us. But we have here John coming through on the front straight. But that was very close. That was a good eye on John there. I think John could have easily had them spin if he didn't recognize that. You can see him go wide there to avoid the incident, and I am happy that they did. I'm surprised this front straight doesn't have a name.
Which one?
The front straight.
The front
yeah.
straight. Really?
Yeah, the main straight doesn't have a name. No. I would have expected it to, but it doesn't.
It would have been great if they did.
Yeah. This track seems like it still needs a few names put down.
It does. I feel like maybe it would if if it became like a regular track in F1.
A regular one. I really enjoy this one on the calendar. I hope it is here to stay. But I know it's hard to with how many bad American tracks we keep adding to the calendar.
Look, I don't know if you saw, but I think the Kailami deal is getting done, which I'm okay with Kailami. I just don't. I'm not okay with it replacing Spa.
Oh, are you serious?
That's what they're saying because they haven't renewed Spa's contract.
They haven't. It's the only one that hasn't been renewed either, right?
Yeah. I'm like, I would trade Miami for Spa right now.
I'd trade it in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah.
I'd
do that and be like, why can't we get why can't we have alternating Paul Ricard and Hockenheim or Nürburgring?
Yes. There's a few.
I would love to have the German GP back.
Yeah. Let's rotate the Spanish one too. Spanish and Portugal. Yeah. Maybe we do, Barcelona and Portimao as the alternating one.
I'm okay with that. I like as much as
because we do not need to go to Barcelona every year. It is not the best track for racing. Like it's good testing track, but terrible racing track for F1
racing. Yeah, because I feel like they could alternate so that, the hosts of those tracks could take a year to save up, and then have next year to spend all that money.
We have our first driver coming into the pit.
Oh, actually, wait, did Fapa just pit? Because I think I missed the overtake.
You missed the overtake. I watched it happen. You talked.
Oh god, yeah.
Oh, Sam must have had. Oh no, he took his drive-through penalty. He didn't take a win.
His drive-through. Ooh. Oh no, he can't.
Or his stop go. Sorry, he took a stop.
That's rough because you can't decide to not take that stop go.
Yeah, but he can appeal it later
and then just add 5 seconds.
And then it could be removed. Yeah. But it looks like Landon actually lets Fapa through there. Not sure what's happening there.
Did he? I was looking away, so I'm not sure if he went wide.
This definitely looked like a let through. Did Carlos go into the pits or did he have another moment? He's having a moment out here in Portugal.
It's been a rough day. It's been a rough day between for the hometown driver.
This track's elevation, man, it must be legit because I've been to Coda and that corner is amazing.
Turn 1?
The game does not give it justice through that in Coda. Yeah, it is so much bigger in person, and it's good.
I'm gonna be there later this year, so I'm gonna see that elevation myself.
You'll see it. It's amazing. That is a very good track. We went there. It's so nice. It's a very nice track.
In my opinion, I always enjoyed Coda, the one in Austin. But actually, one track. Speaking because we're talking about tracks, one track I wish they'd bring back is the Indianapolis.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a bad, especially nowadays. I think the track has gotten a lot better.
Yeah, because for me it was like, because in the US we have NASCAR oval track, so I feel like it's a nice
homage
American track to me, because I feel like when you say US you think of NASCAR when it comes to racing, at least for me. So having F1 race in Indianapolis, it's always for me. I always enjoyed it, especially playing it on the PlayStation Portable in the early F1 games, where Indianapolis was still a track. It was fun. So if ever they decide to maybe alternate it with Austin, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would prefer Indianapolis over the Miami and the Las Vegas track.
Vegas.
Like,
Oh yeah.
I am. He said Haas, but he meant Alfa Romeo. He said he was rooting for.
Oh my god.
So let's go Haas, and then he's like, wait a minute, let's go.
Let's go, yeah.
Alfa Romeo. That's good.
Ooh,
I like
okay,
it. We have here Lungi now on the back of Hulk.
Yeah, he caught up again. What, they're going through Samsung. Is it good? Oh, they're going side by side through what? Turn 10 is called Portugal. Ooh,
Yes. Look at that. You already got one.
Lungi took a bunch of curve right there. I was gonna assume he was about to spin out on that one.
Yeah, but he doesn't here. I think, at least from what I could tell, you should try to hold until you can pass somebody on this front straight. This front straight has seemed to be the strongest passing spot, and maybe out of turn 4. Oh, he goes into the pits. Looking to do a little bit of an undercut, responding to John, who actually pits. And this is huge for the McLaren team, with them both being in front of the Haas here. Should be making up a good amount of positions, especially with that gap. It's not big. It's only 21 points. And where they are now, this is crucial, I think. And with Fapa potentially getting the second place here, is gonna put him in a really good spot with Josh in the Haas. So we're gonna be coming into these last 3 races, sorry. And it's anybody's game.
Yeah,
And one of them being Coda.
Ooh, Coda! Look, I love Coda, man.
Yeah,
Coda's
we
just...
have.
It's hard. It's only harsh on tires, though.
Yeah, it is. We have the last 3 races we have are going to be Singapore, Coda, and Brazil. So Interlagos.
Brazil is so fun. I like Brazil. I like Brazil. Maybe outside
Brazil
of
is
Sector
great.
2.
Sector 2 is terrible. Okay, I will have a okay. I'll be behind okay, and then boom. Through our Sector 2, I lose like a full second on these fast drivers, like easily. But the other 2 I'll be okay on, and it's just like all of my speed I'm losing to these drivers are all through Sector 2.
Sector 2. Oh, jeez,
Yeah.
that's...
It's hard. It's the most difficult sections. I think you can lose the most time through them too when you make mistakes.
Oh yeah,
because some are just really fast. You have weird braking zones where you're like you're coming like barely coming out of your turn-ins, like you're barely leaving the corner and then you're heavy braking again.
We're breaking it. Yeah, it's
like the quick rights. There's like 2 spots where you do quick rights into a braking zone like immediately.
He's like, the fuck?
It's a fun track. I love it.
It's fun, but you know, just. But the second sector is just like you screw over one corner, you're screwed for the next few corners.
Yeah.
It's like what's those series of corners right before the second straight in Silverstone? Was it Maggots and Beckett's?
Maggots, Beckett's, and Chapel? You mean the one right before the hanger straight?
Yeah.
The back straight? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Chapel is
that
the last one, yeah.
Chapel's the last one. Oh, okay, yeah. Because I remember like when I was trying to learn how to drive in Silverstone.
Yeah.
That was that area. I used to hate that series of turns. Like how I hate Sector 2 of Brazil.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know if I'm like supposed to brake, if I'm not supposed to brake. Should I just lift? Should I go all flat on this? Until like I think I looked up a guide on how to drive in Silverstone. It's like, and then I got to Maggots and Chapel. Like, oh, this is fun.
So Hulk has pit. Okay, he might have said that earlier. Yes. So everybody has pit. They've taken their pits. Everybody's on the hards now.
On the hards.
We have John with a 3 to keep an eye on. Also, the 5 from Sam, you'll want to keep an eye on as well, because he might be able to get that removed depending on if he had to avoid a car to... And that's why he got the gain position thing.
Yeah.
And...
Because, let's say that goes through, he's only like within a second of John, so...
Yeah, who has 3-second penalties. So John's going to want to keep extending away from Sam.
He needs, like, just to be safe. If I was John, I tried to get, an 8-second gap.
Oh, you need more. Yeah, I would even say 10 just to be safe. Like, I would say 10 will get you safe, right? But 8 is what you need, like you said, right?
Sam's rear end just snapped. Holy shit! That was scary. It's always turn 8. Is that 8? No, that's 5. Turn 5.
I think that's 5.
Yeah.
Tori
the
Vep.
hairpin's scary. It's what?
Tori Vep. TORRE VIP.
Tori Vep. Yeah, we're just butchering all these names.
I mean, it's Portuguese. We should be able to do this.
Like, if Carlos ends up watching this VOD, we are sorry. We apologize for butchering all these names.
Oh, Tori Vip is a... Oh, wait, that's not. That's not. That's not. That's it. There's a place in Panama called that.
Oh. Speaking of Sam, we have Lungi. That was back.
Right on the back of him already.
Right? No, Lungi's fast. Like, if he wasn't just unlucky at the starts, I feel like he would be splitting the Mercs.
Yeah.
McLaren, sorry.
Yep, I agreed to it too, though, even though it was. Oh, like, yeah.
Ooh, but Sam lost a bit of time because he had another snap in turn 5. I swear, turn 5 can be scary.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I think almost every driver at least had a snap in turn 5.
It's like a weird dip that you have to, and I think what they're doing is they want to get onto the power, but it is a bit of a, like, it has a little bit of a turn in it, right? Like, the track is constantly turning there. There's a little bit of an angle the whole time. So you do have to be careful there.
Yeah, because, like, you go from, like, down to up. It's like that's gotta, like, I feel like the car in general just has to have a good weight distribution.
Yeah.
Do we see could Lungi pass it? He does.
But he's on the inside now. Oh,
Oh, that was rough for Sam. That was
definitely. That definitely felt. I don't know. Like, these two drivers, not having a good time racing next to each other. Nope. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But Carlos here now on Sunby. Hopefully he can get this pass. I would like to see him score a few more points. Actually scored his first points in our last race. It was the first time he actually has scored. He's raced in multiple of them, but just hasn't been able to get any points. So it'd be nice to see him get a few more. Maybe he can pass Sunby and move up into 6th.
I'd be patient. Like, I'd wait until the front straight.
I think the front straight's your best bet. Like, these guys have been fighting through all the other ones, like Largos. and it's not the easiest. So turn 3.
Carlos just went through Sunbeat. Sunbeat took a really wide line.
I wasn't even looking at the screen when it happened so fast with that. Carlos takes P6. There we go. That's what we wanted from this Portuguese driver.
Not unless Sunbeat's planning something, because he's still within. Was he playing DRS chicken?
He might have been, but he's just pretty far away. This is a strong DRS zone though. He can't, and Carlos holds it for another lap there with a good job there. John almost making up that gap he needs. Oh, I guess he doesn't need that gap from Lungi though. He only needs a 3 from Lungi. That's definitely one to keep an eye on. I really like this camera view, the one through.
You see, that's one of the
from
things
Tori.
Right? It's funny. It's one of those nice camera views that's just chef's kiss.
It's nice.
It's one of the best camera views I think we've had.
Wow! What a catch!
Did he spin?
What a catch by Sunbee. No, Sunbee held it.
Oh my god.
He held it, and it didn't even look like he lost any time doing that.
Damn.
Yeah. I mean, he shouldn't have almost lost it in the first place, but that was a good catch for sure.
I feel like he just got on the gas a bit too early, or
it was definitely
a bit too much gas. It's one of those. Samsung's a punishing corner.
Yes, it is. It is brutal. There's a lot of you're trying to, especially with the speed, right? Because you have to match your grip levels for how much speed you're putting down, how much acceleration, and how much turn angle you're putting. And sometimes you might end up snapping because of too much grip, or not enough grip, more so.
I'd say not enough grip.
Not enough grip.
That's been like my issue for the longest time in this track.
Not enough. You know, I hope with like the kind of telemetry stuff we are building that maybe I can even get a little bit better, because I do know that I use way too much turn angle, and I do kind of the opposite of what you want to do. So I'll come in too gentle, and then I'll exit. Like when I'm exiting, I let out of my wheel too quickly because I'm still too unsure of when I could let out of the wheel. So I'm like, I definitely I'm turning in too far now. So I'm adjusting too late. So being able to actually see that visually would, could help me a lot to know like how much, because I know I'm doing it, but I don't know how much too much turn angle I'm using.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like to me that just comes with practice.
With practice, definitely.
Yeah, because one of the things I did in prep for tomorrow's race, I was watching Nicolas Longue and how he drove Podium out, and I swear to God, I improved like 5/10.
Nice.
I was looking at how did he approach the corner? Like how much speed, how much braking, when did he how much was the turn angle? When did he straighten out the wheel? Like, of course, you could never perfectly do that when you're driving, but like at least you kind of have like a hint, like, I have this marker. Once I see this, when the front of the car is here, I should start, straightening out the wheel, or I should start putting in more gas, So yeah, like. Even with, I feel like if I do constantly use the telemetry tool, I feel like I'll even get better. But I would say I'm more of a visual, like watching people drive the track.
For sure.
I feel more comfortable to learn how to drive a circuit.
So this track has a nice little thing, because a lot of these corners, they can't have those little styrofoam borders to do the brake markers. So you can see on the track, there's these little lines, right, that go across instead. I wish they would extend that out onto the track, and then it was on every track. I think that each track should have those markers on the track.
Oh, like
the little brake lines. Yeah, see those little brake lines?
Yeah, so not just on the side, but like
But physically on the
track
track.
itself.
I think it should physically be on the track. Like a little paint lines. Because they have these paint lines on the ground everywhere and they don't actually affect, and you can use paint that doesn't actually affect it that much, right? And if it's very thin, it doesn't need to be crazy. And yes, I know like a lot of these guys will scrub over it and eventually you won't be able to see that part, but you'll still physically be able to see the offline line, which means you still have an indicator on track. Because I think it, especially for drivers like us, I mean, maybe it's just for F1, it's not as important, but
Oh yeah.
I think it would help all of us a lot more and allow a lot of us to remove the racing line sooner than later. Like a lot of these drivers, I think, are just too afraid to take it off because they're afraid like their markers, like somebody will hit that styrofoam brake marker and then now they don't have that brake marker anymore. Which this track is a little bit nicer because they actually have that white line extend out. So even if somebody hit it, they still have that line. So maybe they need to add that up. Maybe if they just added that to every track, I think it would help a lot. Where if that marker gets broken, there's still a white line on the ground indicating where it is. Yeah, it's still not as visual as like a full-on 50 board, but at least it exists. Where I know some of these guys, when they're racing without racing line and you hit that braking marker, you're like, well, what do I use now? It's like, I know.
I mean, that's why for me, like, I honestly still use the racing line because, one, I don't have enough brain space to memorize
Yeah.
braking boards, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, like what you pointed out earlier, like, what if someone hits the braking boards and, oh, I'm screwed. So that's why, like, I still have the racing line, purely just for braking points.
Yeah, and I think a lot of these drivers do. And I think it'd be nice if they had... I know they're just mimicking the tracks, and that's why they don't exist on a lot of these. But I think a lot of these drivers would benefit by not running a racing line, right? If that makes sense. Like, because I feel, at least for me as a driver, the braking lines distract me. So I use only the corner ones. And in reality, I'm not that much slower without the racing line, like with the racing line on and without it, because it doesn't actually help me that much. I guess it does improve your consistency a little bit, and it stops you from making huge mistakes like horribly missing your braking points. But I think overall, I do a lot better as a driver without it. If I practice without it, I would do a lot better. It's just like you said, it's much quicker to be good, like be quick without the racing line on, or with the racing line on. It's much easier because it already gives you a initial braking point, and then you can adjust from there. Where on the other one, you're kind of guessing. Usually you would do a attempt where you start at the 100 board and then you go up to the like go around 75 and then you go to maybe 50 and then you adjust from all those, because your braking points are most tracks it's between the 150 board usually, on most of the tracks, give or take a few. Like Monza's front straight, you have to brake much sooner than that because you're going so fast.
You were going so fast on that. Oh,
but in general, your braking points are around those boards, the 100 to 50. So, like, you can do it without a racing line. I think the racing line just gives you a immediate starting position. And that's what a lot of these drivers benefit from, because we're all restricted by time as humans. So we all have things to do. So I do get it. And that's why a lot of these drivers run racing line. It's why we don't remove it, because I think it helps a lot of these drivers stay consistent, and if they weren't able to get a bunch of time practicing, at least they have a good initial breaking points. But with that, we have here Landon yet again for 2 races in a row, making a huge gap between the 1 and 2. All the way up to 17 seconds here. I really hope he races tomorrow, because he showed really good promise in Spa. He showed really good promise in Silverstone, and I would like to see him here winning a race in the Champions Division. Since he hasn't won one since the first race of our first season, and he goes fastest right here with 120.258. I was praising him, and I think he could feel it. Could feel it. Got faster.
He's like, let me get on the gas a bit earlier.
Yeah, and the silver arrow, or the silver rocket. He is in a silver arrow though. So
That's true.
I liked it when it was the black arrow. I'm just saying that fit was way better than the silver to me.
And so
I am happy that we're gonna get it again in the next game.
In the next game, that is so true.
Yes.
Oh, gee. Yeah, because for Landon, I'm just I feel like it's hard, with Brian there, with Limp.
Brian and Limp, yeah.
And it's hard. It's hard, but you just gotta hope one of those two either misses a race or they DNF on the first one.
Yeah. But I think it's just honestly, I think he could do it. His consistency is the only thing that's been kind of pushing him down, which he's usually not. It's not been the case for him, but I do agree with this game. It's harder to be consistent on, and I don't think he was racing as much as he is now at this point into the season. And he goes even faster. Just keep praising him. He keep going faster.
Like, I hear you.
But I think with how fast he is, he could do it. He just needs the consistency, and as he's been driving in this game more and more lately, I think we could see it coming soon in the Champions Division.
I just hope that 23 that they actually put in more grip, because I swear to God.
I don't think the grip's not the issue. It's the torque that I'm telling you, man. It's the torque.
It's the okay.
We found it in their values. Yeah.
So
it's the low end torque is too high.
You don't have the grip.
You don't have the grip because when you're putting the power down, there's too much torque. And this is why I think a lot of the pro drivers don't have the same issues we have, because they're a lot better with throttle control than we are. And because of that, they can avoid, they still snap, but they can avoid snapping more than we can.
That's true.
But because I guess a lot of these guys who mod the things to try to get the traction better,
even faster.
He does go even faster. They usually change that torque value. They usually change the torque value, and that makes the grip handling feel a lot better just by changing that torque value, the low end torque values. Yeah. But yes, Landon goes even faster. We have Lungy here now. Got to keep an eye on getting closer to John. Let's look at these penalties. Okay, you can talk now, because I have to do the driver of the day, Paul.
That is true. Well, yeah. So like, I don't think Lungy can catch John. With 4.5 seconds and 3 laps left. But maybe if he strings up the last 3 laps like a fast lap, then I guess we could see a fight for third. But I do think this is how the race. This is gonna be the standing for the rest of the race. Ooh, and we have Sam spinning out on turn 1. That is rough.
But he's okay.
He's fine. He recovered. He just ate too much curb. That was that's a problem with turn 1. It's like you if you turn in too early, you hit the curb, you just lose the car. It just makes the car really unstable.
Okay, Landon comes in for some sauce here, and I think he wants more praise. He wants more praise, I guess.
Okay,
he's actually gonna get past here. They're coming through the line right here, and he actually gets in front of them.
Oh my God!
And now he actually has to make up that time and pass. So
he does, and he's out of the DRS. Is he out of DRS?
I mean, he's going to be flying once
Oh,
those
no,
tires are warm, though.
That is true. Oh no, but he gets DRS.
Oh
from
no,
the
he's
back.
getting the
Aw.
back marker DRS. The twins of
is
the
it
Alpha and the Romeos. The Alfa Romeo's giving him a little bit of a boost there to try to stay in it.
That is rough. That is
Oh,
rough.
and he's even in. He's gonna be in it, I think, for that straight, and we might just see him fly past him like he isn't even moving.
Oh my god, we're gonna go see like an F1 car go against a GP2 car.
Yeah, this is we're about to see it right here. He's gonna go. He's gonna go through Gulp, and that's all the sound he's gonna be making when he goes right past him. Maybe that's why that's called Gulp.
Maybe it is. Oh.
Yeah, there's no chance here. Look at that.
No
he goes onto the inside, but it did not matter. That pace. Ooh. Yeah, I think that Alfa Romeo draft was just too strong. He got that DRS from him, and it was just let him get into the DRS of Fapa, and Fapa had zero chance after that.
He had zero chance. Look, if you know, they should change. I'm not, being biased, but like lead cars should not get DRS from backmarkers. That's unfair.
Yeah, I have no. I actually don't know. I don't know if I prefer one or the other, but we do have now Landon with a warning, so he has 2 warnings. So we do want to keep that in mind. His pace is going to be much greater than it is on Fapa, so Fapa will probably still lose that 3 seconds, even if he doesn't get a warning. Here.
Yeah, that would be a given, because softs, hards, that's the big time gap already, just in tires.
Yeah. But the driver of the day poll is up. Feel free to vote who you think was the driver of the day.
He goes
and Landon goes 118.295. I think he's ready for tomorrow's race. I can tell you that. I'll tell you what.
Ready.
He's ready for tomorrow's race with that kind of pace out here.
That's close to my qualifying pace on an empty fuel tank.
Oh, and there he goes. He retires himself out. Takes the fastest lap there. And I think, you know the craziest thing? I bet this benefits Fapa in the Drivers' Championship. But it actually, I think, helps Haas in the Constructors, though, because they get a lot more. I think they get more points overall than they would have. So the difference is still greater, isn't it, than if Landon was there? I don't know. Either way, I think the Haas missing today is gonna hurt. It's visibly showing that it's gonna hurt them.
Yeah.
But
hey,
we're gonna see here, Fapa here now through Gulp, coming to the front straight, is gonna win the Portuguese Grand Prix.
Let's go.
Wins it here in Portimao.
Yeah.
The 2 back. And John here, after that huge that huge incident that he had, finally gets a good position here, finishes in second. That late penalty for Lungi it actually ended up costing him, because he was right there with him. He almost passed him. Like, he was right there, only a second and a half behind him. So if he didn't get that penalty, he could have. We would have had a McLaren sandwich. Definitely, but we have here Sam doing a really good job. Had some good fighting there. Gets P4. Carlos here, Mr. Persistence, gets 5th. That's pretty good points, I'd say, for the Portuguese driver.
It is. Look, the important part is you finish the race. You scored some points.
And Game gives driver of the day to John there.
Oh, it does.
does, yeah. I think that was a good race. I think there was a lot of we know. I think we saw a lot of spots where you don't quite want to race through on this track, and we saw the power of the front straight. I think that was just really quick,
really quick.
Oh, and the QR code does not work. Thank you for telling me. I will let them know so we can fix it. I do appreciate that. I think we knew that it was broken and we haven't fixed it. I mean, our main back-end developer was busy, so.
He's busy.
Oh, yeah, he's been busy. So, but our order is going to be Fappa, John, Lungy, Sam, Carlos, Lannon, Sunby, and Hulk.
That was a good race. You know, we had some racing.
We definitely did. We saw some good spots to try to pass. We saw some bad spots to pass.
I mean, look, I'm not gonna be ballsy enough to go for a pass in the Samsung.
Oh yeah, definitely no for Samsung. Do not try to go through Samsung together, guys. We've seen it. It's bad. It's a bad idea.
It's bad.
just wait until Craig's Jones or Portugal. That's a little bit of a better corners to try to pass through.
Right. Maybe on the hairpin. The hairpin's possible as long as you know you don't snap your ears.
Yeah.
Also, don't overthink turn 4. Turn 4 is horrible.
Turn 4. We saw Carlos almost getting a beautiful pass through there too. Yeah, he had the real over under through Largos. Largos. Largos, Largos. I don't know what that means, but
yeah, because like that was a good over under. In turn 3, I think he just had too much gas going into turn 4.
Yes, totally. I think he definitely
turn 4.
I think he knew he wanted to get out, or because there was a driver was still there on the side of him, so he wanted to get. Yeah, so he wanted to get a good exit, right? And that was like I think the part that got him is. Because he was trying to get a good exit through it, and then it cost him because he didn't have the grip yet.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good strat. It was a good strat. He just needed.
It was a good strategy.
The follow through was
definitely
was missing.
It was just a little bit off. But I think that was a good. He ended up finishing in 5th in the Portuguese Grand Prix, which is his home race. So congratulations. That's still a really good spot for. I think a home race is always. I think you have a little bit of extra pressure on you to do well, and for 2 races in a row, he scores points. So that's also a plus. I think that's has been struggling to get points all season, and now has done it twice in 2 races. So I think he's on the right track. He's going towards the right direction right now, and I think it's always something you want to keep an eye on. I think obtainable goals is always a good thing for a lot of these drivers. If you're not up in front now, just keep working, and it could still happen, right? And our driver of the day poll has finished, so let's bring that up. Yeah, and the winner was Lannon. No surprise with the consistently putting in those laps before he DNF'd. He was consistently at the fastest. Fappa's close in 2nd, which is, I think, a really good choice as well. But I think I would actually, who I think did a really good job this race?
Ooh.
And we kind of just overlooked, was John.
Oh, yeah.
John got all the way to back. He was all the way in last, or in 8th. I guess it's not as bad as last in most.
Yeah.
But he had that incident through turn 1, and he seemed to, he's been having trouble avoiding these incidences. I don't know if it's his fault or it's the others, but he's just been having bad luck on this race starts. And
He has.
got pushed all the way back into last, but then was able to fight through it all and get into P2. And that's crucial for the constructor standings here. And I think they're actually going to pass them in the constructor standings because of this weekend.
I would think so, because P1, P2, then
P1, P2 only down 21 points. I think that's you guys taking the lead by a few. Fappa gets Fappa gets 4 points away now from Josh as well. And yes, it's getting very close here now in the Legends division, and these last 3 races are going to be more important than ever, especially with Josh having to being busy and not being able to race this weekend has benefited the McLaren team.
Yeah, that's definitely true. See, if Josh is gonna miss another weekend, I should step in for the Haas. I kind of want Haas to win a constructor.
I do too. I wouldn't mind it as well. But also, I like the fights. As long as there's a fight for the championships in both, to me, that's all I care about. I don't actually, whoever it is, I don't actually care about. I just like seeing that fight for a championship. Yeah, and that's the most important to me. Yes. But you guys Haas did not have a second driver today, and I guess you could have, jumped in. But I think having you here as commentating, I think it was worth you having you be here. It's worth the Haas's points missing to me.
I mean, I could commentate while driving, right?
Get last.
Hey, look. That's still what?
Points of points. Right? Yeah, points. You don't know how many points you're gonna win or lose by at the end of the race, at the end of the season, right? So
at the end of the season, yeah. You never know. That 2 points might have been the difference.
Hey, it happened before.
It can happen again.
But on that, this was the Legends divisions in the Champions division. Our next race will be in Singapore, and that'll happen on April 21st for this division, which is a Friday, which will be next Friday. But if you like this race but want to see another one, we will be racing tomorrow here in Portugal as well for the Champions division, and I am excited for that race.
I am going to expect a lot of craziness. A lot.
Yes.
I'm expecting a turn 1 crash.
I wouldn't be surprised. It is a fast corner, and fast turn 1s tend to have a lot of drivers trying to go through there together.
Yep.
It will be a little bit. I hope it's tamed. I hope the drivers understand that, and they kind of some of them back out.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
I would rather back out. I'd rather back out and overtake another day.
Yeah. But on that note, I was your host, Stinky Juan. I was here with commentator Pangil. And we'll see you guys all next time.